Hey guys, what is going on? This is Ip of RageQuitTV. Gonna be casting a game between Alien Invasion's FooFighter and WhiteRa. It is a PvT on Shadowed Temple, and before we get in this game, I just want to let you know I am testing out a new microphone. So if the sound is bad, let me know. If it sounds normal, also let me know. It'd be great to get some feedback on my new mic. If you're wondering why I got a new mic, it's just because my old headset broke, and it's pretty hard nowadays to buy a good headset that doesn't have a microphone. I ended up getting the Sennheiser PC360 off of Caldor's review, and the microphone portion of it actually is just as good as my Snowball, I think. So I'm going to be trying out casting the game with this. But going into the game now, we do have WhiteRa. He is the crowd favorite wherever he goes. Even the Koreans look up to WhiteRa. He is one of the older pro gamers, and, well, is just such a charismatic fellow. He is sending out his probe to scout after the pylon, which was on 9. And FooFighter is spawning as the Red Terran on Team Alien Invasion. I don't know too much about FooFighter, but the Team Alien Invasion I have a lot of respect for. Currently, they have Cytoplasm on their team, who is in the GOM TV house over in Korea. And then they have Inna, which is a pretty good Terran player, and I think Cyplo, I know I said the name wrong, who is a very good Protoss player. They have a few other players that I just don't know about. Also, AI used to have RMDX, which we casted yesterday, had a brilliant TVZ against cast. That was such an amazing game to cast. And also, former members of AI include Death Angel, Forsen, Bly, and Osho. So definitely a good Zerg clan, and the Terran players I have seen so far, which is just OMDX, pretty much have been creative. We do have him opening up with a barracks expansion. WhiteRa has not got any scouting really on. He's seen the barracks, does do some harassment, trying to be as annoying as possible, kill off that SCV. But WhiteRa hasn't gone behind the mineral line yet, which means he can't count the SCVs, so he doesn't know if there's another barracks, and another SCV does sneak outside, or the same SCV sneaks on outside WhiteRa. I don't think he saw that SCV leave. He is checking for a command center down here to see if it is a 1-Rax expansion, and doesn't really know, so we'll see how he ends up going about this. Will he go for a 1-gate expand or a 2-gate expand? Gonna be chrono boosting his Nexus right now to get as many probes out as possible. One probe does come in, sees a Marine, and now gonna be going all around, trying to get as much scouting as possible. He hasn't even seen the second supply depot. He sees the first, sees the second supply depot, so everything looks normal, but he doesn't know if there is a another barracks at all. He is gonna be getting this one stalker out. Curious if he ends up chrono boosting this. He is going to go for that 1-gate expand, get the stalker to deny scouting. And I'm a little bit curious if he knows this is a 1 barracks expand, if he ends up getting the stalker right away, or just goes straight for that Nexus. As the Nexus has now started, the Stalker almost out. The Stalker's not going to be able to do too much. He will most likely come back down here and poke just to ensure there is a command center out and there is no fancy 2-Rax play or 1-1-1 going about. Well, it can't be 1-1 because WhiteRa saw no gases. So the really only things that FooFighter can be doing to WhiteRa is a 2, 3, or 4-Rax, or if your TLO 6-Raxes, or a 1-Rax expansion. The most common is a 1-Rax expand, and WhiteRa is going out. We'll see the bunker and the Marine count, so he's going to know, okay, it's a 1 barracks expand. I'm kind of curious what he ends up doing after that. The Stalker now going to be coming in, and looks like he's going to try to sneak around that bunker, but Marines do come out, and they are going to do damage to the Stalker. He does take 1 Marine halfway dead, so dealing about 20 damage to 1 Marine, not too bad. Going to this worker count, it is 26 probes to 21 SCVs. We don't have the order command started just yet. There it goes. And a reactor being built, a factory being built as well. Another reactor gonna be going down on this barracks. And he has 2 gases, and these gases are really early. I'm kind of curious what FooFighter is gonna be up to. He may be going into like cloaked banshees. That is definitely a possibility. Those 2 reactor barracks will give him plenty of defense. And WhiteRa is going up on 3 gates right now. That second gas just finishing. And he is still just chrono boosting those probes out. 31 to 24 SCVs. Has 2 stalkers right here. Just going to do as much poking as he possibly can. Doesn't want to get too close. There could be a Marauder with concussive shells hiding, which would kill 1 stalker. WhiteRa morphing in another stalker as you do here. And we actually have a siege tank being built. And that's not something you see every day. Marines do come out, turning down that 1 stalker, and he may get it. No, he doesn't. WhiteRa keeps that alive. And oh, being very ballsy with this. One more hit will take it out as the Stalker does fall. He trades that for a Marine, and no, that hit doesn't go off. Marine safely gets in his bunker. WhiteRa dealing damage to quite a few Marines. And he did lose one Stalker, so I don't think that was worth it. But it looks like FooFighter is going to be doing some type of bio-tank push-out. And I haven't seen this since the beta. And it generally happens when you have 2 to 3 tanks. And it looks like he is going to be timing this up with his siege mode. He is supply capped just a little bit. He did not want to be supply capped right there, so that tank would have been started. That's about 10 seconds. I believe that delayed the one tank, or 10 game seconds, which could be a big deal. That is the difference between moving out when siege mode finishes and moving out before siege mode finishes. And it really does change your push, because as soon as he moves out, WhiteRa will be seeing the tanks. So he'll get a little bit more time to prepare. He is getting for a robotics bay. And that 10 seconds, you can do a lot of damage in 10 seconds. If the Colossus does come out just in the nick of time, oh man, will that supply cap just hurt FooFighter right now. It looks like he is going to be moving out soon as that second tank does finish. So if it did finish earlier, he would have moved out just a little bit earlier. You can see the DPS on those tanks. 3 shots to a Stalker, taking his shields completely down. Siege mode now finishing as the tanks do move out. He has 4 SCVs, keeping the SCVs away from the front just so they don't get hit. It shows that he wants to keep these things alive. I think he's going to be building bunkers and using them to repair the tanks. And is he going to repair this tank as it's moving? No, he isn't. Scan does come down so I can see what the forces look like. Tanks are going to go up in siege mode. I'm kind of curious why he's not repairing his tanks. And now just doing some quick leapfrogging action as a Colossus is coming out. Bunker does get placed and tanks now going up in siege. And one Stalker, one Stalker does fall. And he's just going to try to leapfrog it. And just look at the DPS on those tanks. He needs to take out these sentries. That is going to be the big deal. Colossus now coming out. Those Marines have to be careful. Going to target down that one Zealot. Does get the supply depot. Colossus now coming out. And the tanks have to target the Colossus. The Marines have to get back here. But it looks like those tanks are target firing the Zealots right now. A little bit of a miss micro from FooFighter right there. Needed to target the Marines on the Zealots and the tanks on those Colossus. Losing both of his tanks because of that. Marines going to take out those Zealots. Another Colossus is on the way. SCV is going to be used to repair that bunker. And now he wants to take out the robotics bay, but he was targeting down the pylon. Did about at least 100 damage to the pylon that he didn't need to do. And looks like this push is just about over. But it looks like he did just about as much damage as he lost, I would say. And getting a great scout on WhiteRa is definitely good. He is building up the tank still. Really love that play. Takes out that one pylon, unpowering the robotics bay, which was researching Thermal Lance. Delaying that Thermal Lance is huge for FooFighter. Now he's going to be salvaging the bunker and getting away. Very nice play by him thus far. WhiteRa does have this observer and hasn't gone up in the base, so he doesn't know what the production looks like. And we do have a starport being built, a third command center also being built, more and more barracks being built. That +1 attack has finished. Does WhiteRa have anything? He does have +1 attack on the way. And it doesn't look like he has the armor yet. WhiteRa is going to be taking his third base while taking out the rocks at his fourth. We don't have these rocks taken out, but siege tanks do great DPS to destructible rocks, just like Immortals do. And we'll see if he ends up taking those rocks out. I assume he will, as his command center now fishing. Going to be morphing that into an orbital command, then floating it up. Morphing it into an orbital command, and then floating it. Hopefully he does that soon. And the reason, if you're wondering why you always morph it before you float it, because lifting it up and floating it over here, that is energy wasted. That energy for mules is so critical. That's like 3/4 of a mule just in floating time that you're losing if you get the orbital command after you land it. So generally it is a smart idea to morph it first, unless one of your bases is way oversaturated, which we don't see here. If it is way oversaturated, then it's best off to move it first. But 9 times out of 10, it's best off to morph it into the OC before moving it. And looks like FooFighter is done with his tank production, just leaving 3. So 3 tanks is quite a bit. I wonder if that's like a magic number to kill sentries or stalkers. Colossus coming up, taking some damage by the tanks, but not losing any of their health. they will just regen that health. And here we go, FooFighter has a bunch of bios. Stim not done yet. Stim's only halfway done. One Colossus, he is taking down the Colossus that was injured the most, I believe. And doesn't look like he's going to get any of those. Colossus doing great, Micro, to stay alive. Doing as much damage with these Colossus as he can before the Vikings do come out. Now the Vikings are out, and both Colossus out of shields. One at full health and shields. This one Viking, if he was coming, that Colossus would have fallen. Slight blunder from FooFighter, not moving in with both of those Vikings. Going to these tanks, let's see. They do 50 damage versus armored, and 150. Just about 2 volley stalkers. And they have 80 life versus non-armored. So it looks like 3 tanks is the magic number to one-shot sentries, or one volley sentries. And maybe that's why he stays at 3 tanks. If the sentries do come here, he can just target down all the sentries, and then they cannot force field, which is definitely crucial against any Protoss push. We do have a very small drop, a medevac and a quarter full, going out to attack WhiteRa's third base, and he has no defense here. Going over to these warp gates really quick, we can see he doesn't have a warp in ready just yet. There we go. Looks like just in the next time he can warp in units. We'll see if he ends up warping them in. Gonna be losing quite a few probes there, not warping in any units over here. There we go. First Zealot's gonna be warping in, and will that pylon go down? No, it won't. Zealots do have charge, and that Fire Force will be able to kite them. Urkons and Zealots do come. He will be going up in the medevacs and now retreating. And if he didn't know already, he does now. That Templar Archives is done, and he has to start worrying about High Templars, feedbacks, and Storm. Stalkers over here for WhiteRa going to go in and try to intercept those medevacs, but they just can't. Medevacs just a little bit too quick. We do have the third base up for Forsten. Going to be landing the 3 mules on it. Doesn't want to land mules on these bases because it's almost out of minerals already. Doesn't want to deplete any base too quickly. And WhiteRa up to 5 Colossus. I think he's only lost 1 Colossus so far, but he is behind in that unit's lost tab. But going over in the spending, it looks like he spent more in his econ, tech, and army. So him losing a little bit more is not a big deal. Going over this econ, we do see that Terran player does have a lot more mineral income, and the gas is relatively even. Going over to the workers, it is 72 SCVs, 269 probes. But WhiteRa looks like he wants to take his 4th base, and we do have a 4th command center on the way, so we will have the gold base up and running relatively shortly. And this is one patch before the current one, so I think the mules do work on the gold base, and the snipe, of course, is full damage. Not that it matters. 45 damage. That's how you know the mules, I don't think, have been changed yet. Maybe they got changed one patch before that. I don't exactly know. We do have a few Zealots from WhiteRa going to be coming in, trying to take out these rocks, but FooFighter does have a Marine there just waiting. And this one probe now going to be throwing down the Nexus and getting a few pylons. Does have a few Stalkers right here just to intercept any type of drop play. And where is that observer for WhiteRa? He is just moving it on back. Zealot's going to be under fire as soon as they start taking out those rocks. And he is going to be microing his Zealots away as they get injured. Really wants to take out those rocks, but he just can't. Micros those Zealots before losing anything. Nicely done by WhiteRa. The observer going to be coming in just to see what this force looks like. We do have FooFighter getting a few ghosts just because he did see those Urkons, and he needs them against High Templars. Has a lot of bio, a lot of Vikings. The upgrades are at 2-1 versus 2-2. But that +2 armor just about done. +1 ship weapons just about done as well. And it looks like both players are moving out. WhiteRa going to be in the middle map, and we will have an engagement right now. And we have to have those Vikings take out those Colossus before he can engage this. EMPs are going down, but it looks like he mainly hits those Zealots. A lot of EMPs did whiff, did take out 1 Urkon in that. And there we go, Storm's going down, but they're mainly on those Marauders. They need to be on those few Marines. Marauders don't die instantly to those Storms. One Storm went off on those Vikings. Those High Templars not moving after they're out of energy, which does allow FooFighter to take this battle, and he is ahead in supply. But he does have to worry because WhiteRa has the gold base. And going into this loss tab, we do have FooFighter losing a little bit less than WhiteRa. The Wood Prism wants to come in. Sensor Tower is out, and there is a missile turret stopping that from doing anything. And FooFighter is going to be taking out these destructible rocks and lifting off a command center at the same time. But FooFighter, I did not like his EMPs the last battle. And I'm going to try to go back to that battle before or after the game does end so we can look at that and see how the EMPs did land. Because I think he mainly missed all of them. Those sentries and High Templar still had plenty of energy. And here we go, War Prism going to be coming in soon as this gold base does land. He sees it. War Prism going to go into this third base while he goes in and pressures this PF with these Urkons here. No ghosts. Actually, there is one. No, there are a few ghosts. So this Urkon can be EMP'd. A lot of SCVs already going down. And now the War Prism going to be warping in even more Zealots at this third base. And it looks like he's tugging down the PF. The PF may go down. He is sacrificing a lot of troops to take that. The PF does fall. Meanwhile, lots of SCVs up here are going down at this third base. That worker count is just skyrocketing. 27 SCVs, 28, 29, 30 SCVs, 31, 32, 33. You can get the picture. Lots and lots of SCVs are falling. But FooFighter sacrificed most of his army right now. Actually, no. WhiteRa sacrificed his army, and FooFighter lost a lot of his economy. As you do see, the army supply 94 to 58. So FooFighter right now is going to have to do a lot of damage with an attack. I actually don't like him using all of his army to deal with those two Zealots. He has to go ahead and do damage as soon as humanly possible. He has no time to delay. Because, well, WhiteRa is going to be getting that army back up going into this income. You can see WhiteRa has a much larger income than FooFighter. Even though the PF did fall, he does land his order command that was building right here next to the command center that turned into a PF. So he's still on 3 bases. He is working on 3 upgrades, but he has to do damage here. I can't stress that enough. We have an Immortal with so many Zealots because FooFighter has been a little bit Marauder heavy, but he has switched over to a lot of Marines. So this is going to be good against this. Has even moved out his tanks that he did not want to. Tanks, though, not going to be too good as they go down instantly. And now he's splitting off his bios. More storms going down. And oh my god, FooFighter in a lot of trouble right now. It looks like WhiteRa will be able to clean this up. And that will be GG as it's 63 supply to 128 supply. Well played. Great game. And I do want to go back, as I did promise before we go into SC2 Gears. Let's look at this one big battle yet again. And it happens, I think, around 19, so just hold on a bit. And, should be happening. Okay. Go normal. And turn hit point bars on. The ghost. So, actually, I don't want to see any of the Terrence things, so I'm going to turn this off. The key units he needs to EMP are the Urkons, of course, the High Templars, the Colossus would be nice, and the Zealots he can get. Oh, the Sentries. I need to get those Sentries. These are the key units I think he needs to EMP. Of course, Zealots would be good because they will do a lot of damage, but the Urkons, High Templars, and Colossus do the AoE. Sentries do Force Fields and Guardian Shield, so I think those should be his first target with EMP, and then any extra left over or any bystanders would be the Zealots that he does get. So we are in normal speed, going to be watching this battle. First EMP does land. Looks like, does he hit? Let's see, what is that? Looks like he hits a few Sentries and this one Urkon. Not bad. May hit the one Colossus as well. Another EMP goes off right here. Doesn't hit any of those Colossus. Looking like it just hits a few Zealots and Stalkers. And if this was before that EMP nerf, oh man, would a lot more Sentries be hit. Because it looks like these two did get hit by that last one. So there's 2 EMPs right now. Third one going off right here. I don't know what that's hitting. The Colossus look like they're good. This Templar may have got hit. May have not. It doesn't look like he's got hit. And WhiteRa has a lot of Templar in the back. EMP right here on this one single Colossus. That looks like it hit. Maybe this one in the back, but it looks like it only hit this one Colossus. EMP right there on a few Zealots. But we can see The Colossal were relatively high on energy. This Urkon's still good. The High Templar's really nice on energy. This one looks like it did get feedback to EMP'd. So he got one High Templar, and there's still plenty left. So those feedbacks could have been more to be desired, I would say. Hopefully you enjoyed that little bit of analysis, and now we will be hopping into SC2 gears. And also, would like a little bit feedback if you like my microphone or not. It is much easier to cast with a headset, as I don't have anything clunky or obstructing my view. But we'll go back in and let's see. Filter Rose. This was FooFighter. Shattered Temple. APM. FooFighter, Macro APM 64, Micro 83, WhiteRa, Macro 36, Micro 85. Redundancy for FooFighter 37, WhiteRa at 28, EAPM 93 versus 87. Going over into... This has been my favorite thing about this, going back in the games. We have 14 Storms, 15 Urkons, 22 Warp Gates, 69 Chrono Boost, 27 Snipes, 20 EMPs, 13 Stims, 11 Scans, 33 Mules. Going over in the units, we have 1 Warp Prism, 1 Immortal, 25 High Templars, 12 Colossus, 4 Observers, 138 Zealots, 5 Sentries, 16 Stalkers versus the 19 Ghosts, 23 Vikings, 4 Medevacs, 55 Marauders, 9 Tanks, 91 Marines, 85 SCVs. Unit tiers, you can see the red. These are Colossus and High Templars. Colossus production started first, and then High Templars came out. When did those come out? Right here. Around the 15-minute mark, you had High Templars, and then the Ghost was built right at the 17-minute mark. So, 2-minute delay, that's not too bad to instantly get those Ghosts. That's pretty much the build time of a Ghost Academy and a Ghost itself, I think. So, not too bad. Overall, great game, I thought. Hope you enjoyed it. Take care, guys. And I'm not done. Resources spent. We do have, let's go to the end. FooFighter spent 37k, while WhiteRa spent 37k. The difference being 751 minerals. Gas spent 1172 versus 1150. The difference being, like, 275 minerals or something, or 75 gas. You can see at the end, it's so close on both minerals and gas. Holy cow. Let's go back in the game and look at this Lost. Lost is relatively even. The tan player losing just a little bit more, that you can see. But that econ, oh my god, was that even. Hope you guys enjoyed the cast. Take care, guys, and I will see you tomorrow.